It's 7:13 Saturday morning. You know there's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram. We could go on for days with all the names of the social media sites, half of which I don't even know about, but I've certainly heard of them. You probably have too. Well, Pinterest ditched its invite-only policy and offered public registration to all users recently. So how can you start pinning away to grow your business and build your brand? Fortunately, social media expert Chris Ruby is here with us to tell us some of the tricks of the trade. Welcome, Chris. Thanks for being here with us. Now, Pinterest is being dubbed the fastest growing social site. So give us a breakdown of the purpose of it. What is it and how does it differ from some of these other ones that we know?
Sure. So Pinterest is definitely the hot social media network right now. And what it is, it's essentially a virtual pin board where you can share your favorite photos with friends and clients, and you really want to create storyboards of creative content and visual images.
Okay, so it sounds very social. And we've, of course, seen lots of examples of how businesses have used Facebook, for example, or Twitter even. But how does Pinterest, how can people leverage that for their business?
Sure. They can leverage it for their business by really bringing their brand alive and telling a story about what they do rather than selling. Pinterest is not inherently self-promotional. So, for example, let's say you sold shoes, right? If you're a salesman, you sell shoes. You wouldn't create a Pinterest board that's just shoes. You'd create a board that shows if you could walk a mile in my shoes and the journeys that you'd go to in these shoes. So that's the difference. Whereas a traditional website, for example, would sell all the products. It would show the shoes. Pinterest wants to show the journey in those shoes, the destinations you travel to.
Okay. How popular has it become so far?
It's one of the third most popular sites right now out of all the social media sites, and it's the #1 site in terms of bringing over referral traffic. It's amazing for bringing in, you know, actual traffic to your website from URLs.
What do they think of next? Is there lingo attached to this? Or like, you know, people talk about tweeting on Twitter and that kind of thing. How about Pinterest?
Yeah, pin it to win it.
Pin it to win it. Oh, all right. Don't. So in growing your business, what have some businesses, or the particular types of businesses that have found particular success with it?
Yes, I would definitely say businesses in, you know, the event space. It's been incredibly successful. Do it your home, gardening, crafts, anything of that nature. It's been very good for. Also, the largest demographic of Pinterest users right now is women.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And why is that? Is it more of a, because it's a visual thing, or does it,
I think it's very visual. They love it. Yeah, I think that's a large part of it. I think the whole thing behind Pinterest, and even with the Facebook visual timeline, it's about getting great images. That's what's shifted in social media over the past year.
Okay. I don't even know that women are more visual than men. I just had to ask the question. So now we have some tips to put on the screen that we're kind of talking about here to get people to get the most out of Pinterest. Let's talk about these. And so, you know, you're kind of talking about them, well, maybe not so far, but let's go through these.
Sure. So the first thing is that you definitely want to repin visually stunning photos. You want to spend time finding the photos that you think are going to share your brand in a creative way, in a different way than traditional marketing.
Okay. So is this because they eventually kind of age and get kind of pushed down a list type of thing?
Well,
like on Facebook or something?
Well, it's a little different because it actually stays on your pin board. Okay. And the goal is to create multiple different pin boards on Pinterest that will tell each different story.
Okay, you say create storyboards with relevant content.
Yeah. You want to, one of the things that's really popular on Pinterest right now is especially quotes. Taking pictures of, you know, really beautiful pictures and then attaching quotes that have to do with your brand or can bring it to life. So you want to create storyboards with these quotes, with mantras, slogans, anything. A lot of inspirational stuff as well. And
I would imagine maybe customer testimonials too.
Yeah, maybe? As long as it's not direct selling, then yes.
Now and you also mentioned, maybe this leads into this well, avoid self-promotion.
Yeah, that's the number one.
Promote. Why? What's the difference?
It's promoting in a totally different way. You are trying to promote, but again, you want to promote the brand or the lifestyle behind what it is that you're selling. It's not direct sales. So it's a very different way of selling.
Okay. Well, it sounds different, and well, it's got to be unique to really matter, to be relevant, and, you know, something that Facebook or Twitter isn't already doing, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Chris Ruby, thank you so much for being here. You've got me Pinterested. All right, for more information, you can log onto our website, as always, WTNH.com. Just click on the Good Morning Connecticut section of our webpage.